making their way to the mic. From the campus of Georgia College, weighing in a combined weight of 360 pounds, they are the WGUR Tag Team Champions of the World, The Frigg Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Valentine Day. This is our Valentine's Day special of The Frigg Show.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, baby.
It's going to be very tense up in here.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
it's fitting because tonight I'm actually celebrating Valentine's Day with my girlfriend.
I'm sorry, say that word again?
Valentine's Day. Celebrating.
I heard that like celebrating.
Salivating.
Celery.
Right.
Yes.
But yes, I'm celebrating Valentine's Day tonight, so doing a Valentine Day special today just happens to make sense.
It just fits.
Yes. So, our top story today, the big deal Titus O'Neil. Yes, if anyone doesn't know who he is, this story is, he's a wrestler, but this is a story everyone can relate to and be upset about.
This is our weekly wrestling story.
So, Titus O'Neil has been suspended for 90 days from the WWE for touching his boss, Vince McMahon. Not inappropriately, he just touched him on the arm.
I mean, it's like a handshake. Like right now. You're fired.
He touched him on... Oh, I guess I'm off the show.
Yeah,
sorry.
Get up. No, that's not pretty much how it went.
Yeah, like he touched him on the arm at the end. Like as they were walking, the broadcast wasn't even on the air, but as they were ending Raw, they were celebrating Daniel Bryan, you know. Mm-hmm. And as they walked out, Titus O'Neil just kind of grabbed him on the arm and said something to him. And now he's suspended for 90 days.
Well, I mean, what if what he said was "Go Heat"?
That wouldn't have mattered that much to Vince McMahon.
I know.
Yeah. If he had said something like TNA is better, I can see that.
Why is TNA?
But the weird thing is, not just that he was suspended for 90 days for touching his arm, but 90 days is longer than a second-time offender testing positive for steroids over there. So, like, I don't get why this punishment was so severe. No one does. Dave Bautista recommended that he ask for his release because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we've all had horrible bosses in our lifetimes, and Vince McMahon is definitely one of those.
He seems to be... Like, think of, like, the movie, like, Horrible Bosses, and replace the Jennifer Aniston character with Vince McMahon.
That would make the movie... That would actually give the movie a lot more interesting conflict.
Well, yeah, and then you could have, like, The Rock show up and rock bottom Vince McMahon through a table.
If that happens on Monday Night Raw after, like, The Rock comes out and mentions Titus O'Neil and Rock Bottom's him, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think back to the past. Has The Rock bottomed Vince McMahon?
I know he's feuded with him. I can't remember if he's rock bottomed him, though. Probably at some point.
Because I know he's rock bottomed Shane McMahon, his son.
Yes, and he's rock bottomed Stephanie McMahon.
His daughter.
But yeah, I'm not sure if he's actually rock bottomed Vince. But... You know, Titus O'Neil took to social media, and I think he took a bit of a shot at Vince McMahon. He wasn't
a pot shot, if you will.
It wasn't outright, but he quoted a verse from the Bible, and he just said, "He who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exhausted." And I think he's telling people he just means he's going to stay humble in this situation, but I think he also was taking a cheap shot at Mr. McMahon and his ego.
I mean, I'm sure he feels kind of wronged because. Why in the world, if you just happen to touch your boss's arm and tell him something, like if you want to get someone's attention, what do? Do you just yell at them, or do you like tap them on the shoulder and get them to turn towards you? You just yell.
That's all that happened.
So it was just like grab his arm and just say, "Hey man, I think that you really need to have this with your dinner tonight. You're fired, suspended."
Yeah, like that kind of thing might warrant a, I'm not comfortable with people touching me. It doesn't warrant a suspension.
Yeah, it's like, just say, please don't touch me.
Yeah.
Unless it's storyline.
But Vince McMahon is absolutely insane. So
I'm drunk with power.
Pretty much. So who cares? I can't wait for him to stop running the company, but that's not going to happen until he can no longer, like, he's brain dead, let's face it. Which it would be horrible. In that case, I'd hope he, lives the rest of his life well, but still.
But there needs to be a change coming up.
Yep, a big change. Not just a change in Dolph Ziggler and the Dudley Boys, but a big change. So that was our wrestling discussion.
I got our weekly one, the one that you'll want to listen to. Sometimes you may not think, well, actually you do think, what in the world are these guys talking about? But then you realize, oh, wait a minute, they actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and they're just talking about a guy who's a bad boss, and that's it.
mistreating his employees.
Yes. So
That's been happening for quite some time.
if anyone wants to start a change.org petition to remove Vince McMahon from any and all power in WWE.
Let's
do
make
that.
him like the Queen of England, just a figurehead.
Yes, exactly. Let him show up on Raw and be the evil boss, but then behind the scenes, it's really
Yeah.
Triple H running the show.
Because who was the kayfabe president of WWE way back when?
I don't remember his name, and no one else does either. But yeah,
Exactly.
They used to have someone there, and even like when they had general managers of Monday Night Raw, you know, they didn't actually have any power over anything. They were just
kinda
figureheads.
Like Kane is
but,
the
yeah.
director of operations, but
Exactly.
is he really?
Well, I know he has some kind of corporate job up there.
yeah.
He's been in the company forever, but.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people who wear those suits and show up on Raw are really just big personalities that they decided to give a name.
Suits, or what I like to call action slacks.
Action slacks. Yes, that's Cade.
So you can be in the business office and on the ring in the same outfit.
That's right. A corporate gain, ladies and gentlemen, did that. Oh, Glenn Jacobs.
PhD.
Apparently, yeah, I was about to say, apparently Glenn Jacobs is one of the smartest people in the company, and that's smarter than a guy with an actual PhD, Xavier Woods. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, we see Xavier Woods running around with Francesca too, the trombone.
Yes, and
gyrating.
Gyrating everywhere.
Lots of gyrating,
Yes.
which you can also do on your Valentine's Day.
Although if Mark Henry does permanently join the New Day, speaking of this, they could feud with the Wyatt family
Well,
easily.
if you saw last Monday on Raw when he was in the match, it took maybe not even 2 minutes before the New Day said, "Hey, Mark, do this." He said, "No," punched each of them, walked out,
Yeah.
threw off the unicorn horn, and said, "I don't do what you do. I do what I do," and walked out. And
How much fun would that be, though? Okay, picture this. You
all
get
I know
them
is-
versus the Wyatt family, and Braun Strowman and Mark Henry stare each other down before fighting for 30 seconds, and everyone realizes they're actually kind of boring in the ring.
Well, it was either going to be that, or they're going to remake the New Day T-shirt where they're all riding a unicorn, and then it's going to be Mark Henry on the back of it as the fourth person, because the unicorn's going to be going, "Oh God, my back!"
Yes, that's quite accurate.
Yes.
So that's enough wrestling for one day, though.
That's our opening wrestling segment, and now let's give you a little bit of a reward. Welcome back to
the
the Valen Bros Day Frigg Show.
I wasn't prepared for that. By the way,
Nobody's ever prepared for the Spanish Inquisition.
if you'd like to join in on the Valen Bros Day fun with us, our Bros with Benefits t-shirt is available on redbubble.com if you search The Frigg Show.
By the way, you can also find us on Facebook at
The Frigg Show.
and Twitter at.
The Frigg Show, though we never really use Twitter anymore.
I know, but what about Instagram?
We don't have
We don't have one of those. Haha, we tricked you. But we also have a YouTube channel at.
The Frigg Show and new episodes. Our first 2 will be on probably by tonight.
Or sometime this weekend.
Either way,
Soon.
very, very soon.
Very, very soon.
So, back to normal voices for a bit.
So, just as a nice little change of pace here, we went from wrestling at the first segment. We're going to be talking about the FDA right now.
Yeah, so the FDA has sent us a personal message. They decided that the best medium to broadcast their message to the world would be through the Frigg Show. Because, of course, everyone in the world listens to us.
Exactly. We are, in fact, the best method of communication of getting mass messages out to a large audience. And here's the thing. The FDA, we all know that the Food and Drug Administration, you always hear like FDA approved, and they're the ones that go through and say like, okay, this is safe to produce and distribute to the American people. But they have just recently recommended this past Tuesday on adding a little Tabasco to that bad boy.
Yes, always add a little Tabasco to that bad boy.
And the acting commissioner of the FDA, Stephen Ostroff, said on Tuesday, based on years of research and dozens of clinical trials, our agency strongly advocates that citizens put a splash of Tabasco right on that sucker. And he really stressed that both adults and children sprinkle several hot and peppery drops right onto that thing for some real serious zip.
Yes. Now, I have to wonder, what is that thing or that bad boy?
Well,
I'm guessing it applies to literally everything you can put in your mouth.
Well, of course. I mean, if you want to put a little bit of Tabasco on, say, that grilled cheese, bam! Make it like Emeril Lagasse, bam!
On that buffalo chicken, bam!
That'd be like overkill.
Yeah, it would, and it'd be delicious. I love spicy food, by the way. If
But
anyone doesn't
Ostroff
know.
also said, it's important that Americans closely follow these guidelines because this baby is practically begging for some heat. Our findings clearly indicate that it just needs a little something extra, and just a touch of that fiery Tabasco tang will take it to another level in the flavor department. He also emphasized that Americans need not worry about how much Tabasco they put on that I'm not even going to say that.
Bad boy.
On that bad boy. Because adding that bold, spicy zing was just what the doctor ordered. So thank you, Mr. Ostroff, for giving us that recommendation. And you know what? You know what really go good with?
What?
Caramelized onions.
Oh, yes. Wink. So.
Wink, wink. Wink.
Sounds like a hearty Valentine's Day dinner. Put some Tabasco. When you're out having your Valentine's Day dinners on Sunday, put some Tabasco on that bad boy.
Here's what you do. You and your significant other, you both you pour each other a glass of wine, just sit there, splash some Tabasco in that bad boy.
Yeah.
And then you drink it, and then subsequently have very bad stomach movements because that's not supposed
That's
to
a
mix.
horrible idea, yes. But the FDA recommends that. I guess Tabasco is good for your system somehow.
Well, yeah. I mean, like anything spicy can clear the sinuses.
Of course.
I mean, like, have you had ever, I can't speak today. Have you ever had really spicy, like, Chinese food or Japanese food?
Oh, yes.
And
then
about
suddenly...
about a second in...
Suddenly, do I still have a cold? This is fantastic.
It's like, oh, I can breathe.
It's like when you take a hot shower.
I can breathe.
I can fight!
Fairly Odd Parents reference for all of you out there.
Yeah, if anyone else is a fan,
Love
feel
you,
free
Benny.
to call us at 478-445-1694.
Benny, call us. I know you're at work, but call us. Please.
Oh, everyone knows Benny listens to this show at work.
Well, of course.
Yes.
Although earlier this semester when I was right before we all went on air and I was trying to organize show times coming in and out and new shows and returning shows and shows that aren't coming back, I put a post on the DJ page that said, "Hey, if you are coming back, either message me or post on or comment on this post, like what your show is, what time it is, or if it's a new time." Benny messaged me 2 days later saying the classic rock hour Tuesday from 7 to 8. I was like, please let this be true.
Yeah. She's got to drive down to Milledgeville every Tuesday. That would be beautiful.
Like, please, that would be amazing. And then my dreams were subsequently crushed because I knew that he was just saying that to make me happy. And I was like, Benny, why?
Shout out to the Classic Rock Hour. If you want to find it on Facebook, I'm sure they have episodes somewhere of his old stuff.
I think so.
So, anyway, let's...
Anywho.
Let's
give him 2 songs.
Let's give a nice little 2-song break. Now, we're about to play a song by one of my favorite bands.
21 Pilots.
Yes, now, they have a lot of wonderful songs, and
yes.
This is one that's a little less well-known, but it's not that one hit they had earlier this year that was terrible, which is the important thing.
I was gonna say, I remember like the first hit they had on the radio, at least like what you say, like mainstream radio.
Yeah.
What was that one called?
I don't remember what it's called.
Because I know it had that kind of that weird
She's
cadence.
a tear in my heart.
It was that weird cadence.
Yeah.
Stressed Out is pretty good. Stressed Out is pretty darn good.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think, if they're going to pick a 21 Pilots song to go out in mainstream radio, why that one?
I know. They chose one of the oddest ones to start them with.
Because it's not their sound. Like, they deviated from their sound in that song. And I think this song coming up that we're about to play called Trees, I think that very, very accurately illustrates what 21 Pilots is. Yes.
Well, is that or car radio?
Yes, exactly. So
everyone, enjoy Trees by 21 Pilots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Followed by some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Welcome back to
The Frigg Show.
On WGUR 95.3.
The Noise.
Back to normal voices. So, everyone, we're going to also... This is going to be a first for the show. We like talking about like funny articles, things we find really interesting. We like playing game shows. But this is the first time they're actually reading horoscopes.
Yeah, some of you out there like to listen to the stars, and we want to respect that, so
we're going to help you out. So
let's start with the people whose birthdays are, right now.
The Aquarius group.
Yeah, so since you're happening right now, Aquarius. Low-risk mutual funds and tax-exempt municipal bonds might seem like a safe bet, but then picking a racehorse based solely on its name is never the way to go.
Come on, catch a guy from behind. Go! Next up is Aries. We know this from March 21st to April 19th. And it's interesting, this is also where my mother falls in. But don't worry your pretty little head about next week's events. Instead, worry your pretty little arms, your pretty little legs, and that pretty little spine of yours about it.
Yes.
Next up,
all right. So next up is Taurus, and this is yours,
yeah,
Alex.
I fall into this. I'm a May 17th birthday, and Taurus is from April 20th to May 20th.
So if you are a Taurus today, the stars would love to give you some relationship advice, but then they're still quite tired from all that time they've been spending with your wife.
But I'm not married.
Not yet.
But I'm not married.
You are now to America.
But I'm Canadian. Next up, Gemini, May 21st to June 20th. You'll be honored this week by the prestigious Academy of just handing these freaking things out to whoever's around.
Wonderful.
I will say that to the people that are advertising the blood drive today. They're just standing around handing things out.
That's true. So be ready for that. Cancer, this is me. Yay! You know, kind of morbidly ironic. My grandmother was a Cancer. And she was actually killed by a giant crab.
Wow.
All right, so if you're a Cancer, your birthday's from June 21st to July 22nd. They say animals can often sense an earthquake moments before it strikes, which explains why so many of them are smiling at you right now. A squirrel smiled at me this morning, actually. So,
Remember all those years ago when you adopted Squirrel Tool?
Oh, yeah. So, my freshman year, I was walking up front campus, and this squirrel just started walking next to me. And I look over at it, and it stops, and it looks at me. And we just keep going. And then once again, I stop and look over. It stops and looks over. I named it Squirrel Tool. He loved me.
Just give it like that nod. Just like, sup.
Yeah.
Next up, Leo. We all know this is Leo the Lion from
DiCaprio.
July 23rd. Yes. Give him his Oscar. The bear did enough. Give him his Oscar. But this is from July 23rd to August 22nd. And for Leo, a premature and rather curious birth this week will bring new meaning to the idiom all thumbs.
Wonderful.
Cough, cough.
So, next up is Virgo, August 23rd to September 22nd. If you're a Virgo, your coworkers are beginning to tire of your lame excuses. Although, to be fair, that's really your plumber's fault.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Libra, the scales, September 23rd to October 22nd. Looking back on it now, letting Sam Peckinpah direct your home movies was probably a big mistake.
Nice.
You can look up that name yourself. We will not go into detail.
Next up is Scorpio, which is the constellation that looks like WCW's Sting.
Yes. Scorpion Death Dog.
So, note, this week's horoscope has been classified by the CIA due to a series of national security concerns. The constellation Scorpio has already been detained.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, let's just, don't worry about it.
Next up, we have Sagittarius, the Archer, November 22nd to December 21st. You've never felt comfortable with math or science, which makes complete sense as the two disciplines really messed you up as a kid.
Yes, of course. So, then Capricorn, which says that's December 22nd through January 19th. I'm not quite sure. I'm guessing it's a ram.
Yeah, it's a ram. It's like a goat ram.
Cool. Goat ram. Daniel Bryan.
Dodge ram.
They're not sponsors.
No.
So, the judge will sentence you to 3 weeks of community service work at a nearby park, which is exactly what you were doing when the cops picked you up in the first place.
And the last one, Pisces. This is February 19th to March 20th.
The fish.
Yes, the fishies.
104.7, the fish. Don't listen to them, listen to us.
Remember, spring is a time of renewal and rebirth. So barricade the door to your basement before it arrives. Hey!
Hey! And those are your horoscopes for this week. You're welcome.
I really do smell onions, seriously.
Yes.
Huh.
Good one. I love all the... I didn't even get the one from the last time when you said caramelized onion.
Yeah.
Clever.
So we might be dropping one more of those, and then you'll really realize where we're getting these articles.
Yeah, so don't Google them.
Well, I mean, you can, but nah.
Yeah.
So
why is there a song on the system called The?
I don't know, and I don't think we're playing it.
Fair enough. It's actually called Die, 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 but I'm German.
Well, yeah. Oh, yes, it's the Frigg Show.
Which means it's time for celebrity birthdays.
Yay!
Yay! So, as we always do, usually we, don't have enough, and we try to go to the next day or the day before. But there's a lot of really cool birthdays today.
Today was really full of good birthdays.
First of all, a non-celebrity birthday, just in case she's listening. It's the 25th birthday of one Jen Deese, who's the person who was terrified of your voice.
Oh yeah!
So happy birthday, Jen!
I apparently scare a lot of people like that.
Yes. So, all right.
On purpose. So I take the odds, you take the evens?
Yes.
All right. So first up, we have and these are not in order of preference.
Yes, we would not put them in this order. This is just what they put them in the order as, because they go by whoever's the more famous, and they're completely wrong about a lot of things on this website.
But that's personal opinion. So number one is a Taylor Lautner. You may know him
whoever he
is.
is.
You may know him as Shark Boy.
Yeah, Shark Boy, and nothing else. He never took his shirt off.
And he is turning 24, which means I have a lot of work to do.
Right. Next, Jennifer Aniston is turning 47. Really? 47?
She looks freaking good for 47.
Yeah, she does.
Well, all those Vino commercials.
Well, happy birthday, Jennifer Aniston.
Next up, a Miss Kelly Rowland. I believe we know her from her musical career.
Of course. Right. Next, we have a Thomas Edison. You might know him for inventing the light bulb.
And his feud with Tesla.
Yes, and of course, you might also know him for the train that he is. Thomas the Train, get it?
I don't have to impress you. Let's see, who's next?
And another one that I know really well, he is Mike Shinoda, turning 39. This website describes him as guitarist.
But
You'd probably know him better as the lead rapper for Linkin Park and for Fort Minor. If you don't know him for that, you know him for being the producer for Linkin Park. And if you don't know him for that, you know him for being the pianist for Linkin Park. And if you don't know him for that, maybe you know him for being the rhythm guitarist for Linkin Park. But at that point, you probably just don't know who he is. So, yeah, that was a lot.
Next up, we have Jeb Bush. He's turning 63. We all know him from this wonderfully entertaining political race.
Of course.
Speaking of politics.
Next, we have Sarah Palin, a woman who can apparently see Russia from her house, and at the moment really isn't famous for much else.
I can see Russia from my house. Next up, a very special person to Caleb and I.
Of course, Turd Ferguson.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds turns 80 today.
Happy birthday, Burt. You and your mustache are an amazing thing.
Of course.
Let's see. Who else?
Best tag team in the world. Sheryl Crow turns 54 today.
Ooh, fun.
And, of course, we can't forget, it is Valenbros Day, after all. So, of course, we can't forget one of the most romantic men in the history of romantic men. Mr.
Give me a minute.
You'll find it. You'll find it.
Just let me get into character here.
Yeah. Hello, ladies.
Isaiah Mustafa is turning 42, and he only looks like he's 31. Hello, ladies.
Look at
your radio. Now back to me. Now back at your radio. Now back to me. Instantly, they were both me.
Technically, at this moment.
But this is the man your man could sound like.
I like it.
Now, look back at your desk, back to your computer, or your radio. Guess what? There are 2 tickets on there to that concert next week.
It's the concert of just us talking.
And surprise, the tickets are now diamonds. Swan dive.
Into the best radio show of your life.
We can go on and on, but...
We could, but we won't. So, those are our celebrity birthdays. If you'll give... Should I just sing a birthday song with a theme this time? So I don't have to pull it up on YouTube?
Yeah, let's just sing a birthday song with a theme. Let's make the theme... What are you thinking?
Let's make the theme... romantic slow jam, obviously. It's Valenbros Day.
Do I need to lay a beat
lay
here?
A beat down. Yeah. Hey, girl. It's your birthday and you're a celebrity, so we gonna respect each other real good. Yeah. Some birthday respecting each other. I'm always respecting women. All right.
Great line to end it on.
Of course. So, now that we've done our celebrity birthdays, I believe it is time.
It is time
For a song break.
Come on, it's time for America's favorite game show.
Oh boy, I love The Price is Right.
No.
Oh, then it must be Jeopardy!
Oh, come on.
Perhaps reruns of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Seriously? No. It's time for Where in the World is John Cena?
Well, that was weird.
Seriously, Jonathan Cena the Jr. just needs to get out of here.
Jonathan Cena the Jr.
Yes, he likes to add the Jr. in front of his name.
That's almost as bad as Senor Senior.
Yes.
John Cena Jr.
Yes, John Cena Jr., Jonathan Cena Jr., Johnny Cena Jr.
And of course there's a John Cena Senior. John Cena Senior. Say that 5 times fast, everyone.
No, I refuse.
Well,
Anyway, everyone, welcome to Where in the World Is Caleb's Fez?
Of course. So, this is the weekly game show where you try to guess where my very sociopathic, murderous Fez could be this week.
Yes. And as the game goes, Caleb will give you 3 hints.
One of them is a lie.
And it's your job to figure it out.
Officers, if you're listening, please wait until I tell you where it is to start looking for him, instead of just going based on you. They don't listen.
Okay, but Caleb, are you ready to give us hints?
Yes, it's time for our hint.
Hint number 1.
'Tis freezing cold where it is. I'm talking colder than it's ever been.
That quite narrows down the locations. But hint number 2.
It's a little bit cheesy.
Okay, interesting. And hint number 3.
My Fez hates Valentine's Day.
I could see that, but it's red, so it's like the color of love. But
That's-
anyway, that's
the problem. People are always confusing it with a romantic gift,
That
and
is
it's not.
delving into your Fez's mind, and I'd rather not be there.
That's true. It's a very dangerous place, my Fez's
It's
mind.
a weird place. A very weird place.
So, it's freezing cold, it hates Valentine's Day, and it's cheesy.
I see. So, everyone, we're going to give you one song to think about this. If you want to call in and answer, you can either use Mixler or you can call 478-445-1694. Repeat it, Caleb.
478-445-1694.
And this time in stereo. 478-445-1694.
That would be in stereo if we were each panned in one direction.
I know, but I'm just saying because we're saying at the same time.
Can we do that? Can I pan us?
Well,
Probably
possibly,
not.
but we'll try that later. Here is the song Still Into You by Paramore. We'll be back in just a minute.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Welcome back, everyone.
I hope you've taken time to reflect on the hints I have given you.
Yes, and we know that one person really has.
Will you know that what?
One person has really reflected on your hints.
Really?
You know who that is?
Who?
Jonathan Senior.
Jonathan Cena Senior and Junior.
Junior.
Yes. So,
That's man.
wonderful.
So once again, before we reveal, Caleb, give him your hints one more time.
So, one last time before we reveal, my Fez is freezing cold where it is. It's rather cheesy, and it hates Valentine's Day.
Well, that's quite unfortunate. But Caleb, I will give you a somewhat of a drum roll if they can hear this.
It's in Canada.
What's it doing in Canada?
Well, you know how sometimes it comes up with really bad ideas?
Well, yes, I mean, the last time it came up with a bad idea, it got stuck in space.
Of course. This time, however, he tried to come up with a bad idea, and it sold like hotcakes for the company he pitched it to.
Like Tabasco.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bad mistake, really. So he went up to Doritos
Okay.
in the Canada branch just because he figured, that Canada, they won't do anything.
I see.
And it pitched the idea of a bouquet of Dorito roses for Valentine's Day.
Dorito roses.
Yes, which is cheesy, and since he's in Canada, it's freezing cold, and he's doing this for Valentine's Day, so that was the lie.
Huh. So it made a bouquet of Doritos.
Yes, with fake flower stems.
Okay.
I would accept that as a gift, personally, but they're only available in Canada, and they've sold out at this point already.
Well, that's unfortunate. But I guess if you want to make this treat and then give your significant other a bottle of Mountain Dew and then play Call of Duty Black Ops 3, I guess that would be the best thing.
Yes, you can find it. The instructions to make these are available on the Huffington Post Weird News article published about it.
I see.
Because we know that every time my Fez gets out, Huffington Post posts a weird news article about what it's done.
Of course. But thank you everyone for playing Where in the World is Caleb's Fez this week. We appreciate your participation.
Tune in next week for another edition of Where in the World is Caleb's Fez? John Cena did not show up this time. That's
Thank
fortunate.
goodness. Now, let's get out so these other guys can get back in. I think they have some important stories to tell.
Yes, return to the Frigg Show.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back. We have some breaking news.
I really hate blacking out like that.
Yeah, me too. But serious, important
seriously,
breaking
we have
news.
some breaking news right now.
The reason we were gone, we were on the phone. They really want us. Remember how the FDA uses us as their official spokespeople,
Yeah,
of course.
well.
So does the White House.
So, we do have some breaking news here. President Obama has resigned from his presidency because Michelle got a job in Seattle.
Yes, they had a discussion. Michelle Obama got her dream job, the job she's always she's always placed her ambitions and aspirations on the back burner so Barack Obama could pursue the presidency. And they talked about it, and Barack Obama decided he wanted to return the favor. It's late in his presidency, and he's willing to step out.
And we have here, as President Obama says, 4 years, Michelle has placed her ambitions and aspirations on the back burner so I could pursue my own, and now it's time to put her first. And he says that is the next chapter for the Obama family. And where she's going is that she's looking at a partner track position at a prestigious environmental law firm in the Cascadia Group in Seattle.
All right, we're going to play a recording from part of the press conference now from earlier in the day. Of course, it will be hard for me to leave my work, but this is what partners in a marriage do. They support each other and treat one another as equals. If giving up my job as commander-in-chief and moving the family, as well as my daughters, Sasha, out to Seattle will make Michelle happy, then I'm happy to do it. I love you, Michelle. Sasha, Maria, go to bed.
And then he was even asked how he would keep himself busy in the Pacific Northwest, and Obama replied that his main focus would be getting his daughters, Sasha and Malia, to settle into the family's new arrangement before possibly running for mayor of Tacoma. And honestly, I don't think he needs to run for mayor of Tacoma. He needs to open up a restaurant where they specialize in serving burgers with onions on it.
Of course, yes. And a burger restaurant with especially like onions and onion cooked burgers.
And then like fried onions.
Yes.
Like sauteed, caramelized. I mentioned that earlier in the show.
Of course, yes. With Tabasco.
Exactly, with Tabasco sauce.
You can call it Brobamas.
Brobamas. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to make one thing clear.
This article is
this article is from The Onion.
So it's not true at all.
That was the same with the FDA article and the horoscopes.
Yes, it was all from The Onion.
We're making that clear right now. 3 of the articles we've read today have been just straight up fiction.
Yes, of course.
The Doritos one, however, was actually true.
Yeah, the Doritos one is very accurate. Very true.
Surprisingly enough.
Yes, which is amazing, and I wish they weren't sold out because I would buy one for myself right now.
But that being said, that is it for the Valen Bros Day Frigg Show.
Which means ordinarily we'd be playing Silhouettes by Colony House. However, as a special Valen Bros Day special, we decided we're going to send a message to all you single people. This is what you should say to he or she that you enjoy the presence of, if you will.
And this is a famous Franz Ferdinand song. So, everyone, enjoy the music.
But first, we have about... Let's do 11:59 for our closing.
Exactly.
And then...
we have one thing to say, and usually we yell this. But today...
we're gonna slow jam.
We're gonna slow jam this stuff.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Oh, no, Caleb. You can be mine.
That's right, baby.
Finally.
It's 11:59, and you're listening to WGUR 95.3 The Noise, broadcasting from the campus of Georgia College in Milledgeville. And this is The Frigg Show. Tune in next week. Same
We aren't
time.
speaking like this anymore.
Same time. Same
Frigg
place.
Enjoy your Valentine's Day, everybody. Oh, yeah.